Hey everyone, for today's class I was just really feeling like a stretch class, so join me along for something that's going to help to open up the hips, the side body, getting a little bit of rotation, and some extension. So we'll start off with a little bit of footwork. I've got 2 reds, a blue, and a green on. My headrest is up, my foot bar is standard, and we'll start on our backs. Let's start Pilates V. Toes on, heels together. We'll go for 5. Just a fairly quick warm up there to the legs, but really making sure that just because we're doing lower reps doesn't mean you're just doing them lazily. Got 2 more. We're doing them with control, with strength, with powerhouse engaged. Now your toes are going to go wide to the foot bar. Go for 5, but then lower the heels under, lift back up, and then pull back home. So press, lower, lift and pull, reach away, lower, lift and pull. Making sure you're working to really lower, really lift and pull. Final one. Now from there, hold on to your pegs or your shoulder blocks and allow your knees to rock to one side and a gentle look of your gaze to the opposite side. And rotate to the other side. Good stuff. Arches on, hip distance apart, hands down by your side 5 times. Trying to curl the toes over, pulling the heels under. 3, 2, and hold yourself out. Now just really massage your feet. Now, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the class, but you will need a squishy pad, something that is padded to put onto your platform if you don't already have one. We'll walk down to the toes one more time to walk up to the heels and stay there, hip distance apart, and imagine you're standing on something flat. Toes are soft to pull and press 5 more times. Getting that seat to feet connection for 4. Maintaining long, strong, powerhouse core and spine. Last 2. And 1. And bring it back home. Lay the legs long over the foot bar and give them a gentle little sway from side to side. A nice little massage through the calves. Bending the knees more. And more. Whew. A little myofascial release. Feels good, little hot spots. Understanding the difference between pain and something that is it doesn't hurt, but this term hurts so good kind of comes to mind. All right, legs long, feet together, arms up towards the ceiling to roll yourself up so we can transition to the next move. Bring yourself off to the side. This is where we'll stay on a blue. Now make sure that your blue is loaded up on the middle rung, and that you have some space underneath of you, or in my case, I need to put the box underneath of me. Okay. Alrighty, and then let's just go ahead. I'm going to put my pad onto the platform right now. Just get that set up for when we are ready for that. Alrighty. So kneeling onto the carriage with your left foot against the shoulder blocks. Press the carriage away and find your lunge position in the well. For you to press out, lifting the spine, think of your cat and cow spine. Right now this is your cow. Shoulders down, heart is open, looking forward. And then for your cat spine, curl the carriage in, tailbone underneath of you. I'm gonna step my foot forward a little bit more and then press out. Do about 3 more, 4 total of each. 2. And final 1. Now let the carriage rest against your calf if it's not already coming home all the way, and bring your left foot across to the opposite shoulder block. Make sure that your knee though didn't just move across to the side edge, it stays on the left side. So before we begin, we're going to be opening up through the whole left side of your body. So your right hand stays onto the middle. We open that left arm up and out to the side, opening your heart and chest. And then reaching off to the right, side of your foot bar. And then repeating that same pattern 3 more times. Open and cross the body. 3, 2, so then finish that side hip, side body stretch for 1. All right, and then from there, carriage comes all the way home. Your left foot will stay onto the edge of your carriage. Your right knee is coming onto the pad, onto your carriage. Now you're gonna stay into that kneeling position first, hands onto the pad and to the carriage to help open up the thighs and bring the carriage home. A lot of the hips can be like around the hips, depending on like where your tension is. You know, just these are all opportunities for you to open into that space, to explore the space. Now come up into a tall position. You can hold onto the foot bar if you need to, but try your best to keep your tailbone underneath of you and then hold out for 3 seconds, 2, 1, and then pulling yourself back in. Resist out and away. And then pull back in. 2 more. Whew. And then hold the carriage out. Last one, arms out to the side to rotate. 1, 2, doing 4 total of all of these stretches. 3, side to side. Keep the tailbone heavy. Last one for 4. Carriage comes all the way home. Alrighty, and then we'll start again from the other side. Then we will turn our way back towards the back of the carriage. Your left knee stays on, your right foot steps forward. You can place your foot bar down, or your shoulder block back, but your left foot is not hooked onto the edge here. The carriage isn't really gonna move on this one. This is just another opportunity for you to open up through the front of your hips, making sure though that you're not dumping into your back, that you are keeping that little bit of curl through the tailbone and opening up through the front hip. Now holding onto the shoulder blocks, pull the hips back like you're trying to touch the foot bar, and straighten that front leg. Maybe give your hips a little sway from side to side, and then move it forward. And then sink it back. Oh, especially when I move my hips to the left side, it feels really nice. 2. All right, and then after this last one, we will switch directions or sides, and we'll work our way backwards. So our right knee goes down, our left foot comes forward, and you continue moving, oh my goodness, forward and back. And so as we move through this in a backward sense, I can kind of feel that we haven't really moved through this hip and leg yet. So it feels just like stickier, you know? Definitely taking those deeper breaths, allowing yourself to melt from one movement to the next, to flow from one state to the next. Little tail wag at the end, and then moving forward. Last time back. Alrighty. Then your right knee will stay onto the carriage. You turn towards the left side of your carriage and step your left foot towards the platform side behind the foot bar. Stay low to then open and close 4 times, in and out. I'm just noticing the difference in the stretch of a low kneeling position and then of course a high kneeling position. These are all great stretches to help open up through the hips around the pelvic floor. Last time. And as you pull all the way back in, hold the carriage home, kneel tall, keep your tailbone in line with the rest of your spine as you press out, and hold. 3, 2, 1, then pull back in. Two more times. And then hold out, last one, arms out to the side and rotate. 4 times in each direction. The rotation comes from the spine, has nothing to do with the arms. The arms are just like accessories to the movement itself. It's just like adding a fine piece of jewelry to your outfit. The outfit is the spine. The jewelry is the arms. So if you could do the rotation with your hands across your chest. Last one to the right, final one to the left. And then pull the carriage home. Turn yourself towards the front of your carriage and step your left foot into the well. Bring your carriage up against the shin there so your right knee can find the shoulder block. And then we press the carriage away and find your cat and cow spine. Inhaling to press the carriage out and away, and then exhaling to curl, pulling the carriage home, driving the knee down into the carriage, and then pressing away, inhaling. As we move with the breath 3 more times, this allows the nervous system to feel at ease, starts to turn on the parasympathetic state. Exhaling, and of course the deeper or the longer the breath's in, it doesn't have to be a forceful breath, but just a nice easy flow from inhale to exhale. Relays to the brain that like, hey, things are cool, we're chill. You're gonna bring your left foot out, step off towards the right side of your reformer. Now I'm just gonna bring my box off to the side as well. So I've got something to stand on to bring me up to the level of my reformer. I've added on a blue spring and taken off, added on a red spring and taken off the blue. And standing with my right foot in line with the carriage, right hand onto the foot bar, and left foot in line with the shoulder block closest towards me. For a nice inner thigh stretch. Left hand stays onto the carriage as you press the carriage out and away for a nice inner thigh stretch, and keep the legs long as the carriage pulls home. You might notice a nice outer hip stretch on that right side. You can let go of the foot bar and push yourself deeper into the stretch, bringing your right hand to the wooden frame 3 more times. Sorry, that was 3. Go for 2 more. And then pressing out to pull back home. Your right hand is about 2 to 3 inches from the middle of your foot bar. Left hand is under the foot bar, 2 to 3 inches away from the middle. So if this was the middle of the foot bar, both hands have now just slid away and then towards you. Right hand is away from you, left hand is towards you. For you to continue pressing the carriage out 4 more times, but you rotate left shoulder down, right arm or right shoulder up, and to lift back up. Whoa, that always feels so good. 2, and final 1. Oh, it feels so good. Hold it maybe for a little bit, and then the carriage comes back home. Oh, nicely done. Alrighty, so we'll come around to the other side, but before we do, we come into a kneeling position facing towards the back of the room. So thighs will be up against the shoulder blocks. Hands will be onto the wooden frame. This is a red spring, so understand that it is a little heavier. You do have to work a little more proprioceptively, more with body awareness. Your hands come slightly in front of your shoulders there, with your thumb staying on the top and your fingers on the outside. Now find and maintain your nice neutral spine position, drawing the ribs and the belly up and away from the ground, and then pull with your arms, bringing the carriage forward, keeping the knees under the hips and drawing the carriage back to your start position. I'm gonna go for 3, 2, and then after this last one, hold yourself forward and pull the knees in and out for knee pull. 2, and 1. Drawing the carriage home, big toes touch, hips go back, knees stay wide. Give yourself a gentle sway from side to side. All right, I'm gonna move my box over to the other side. And so now we can step off and getting ready for that side stretch, inner thigh stretch on the other side. Still on that red spring. Left foot is in line with the edge of your carriage, left hand onto the foot bar, right foot in line with the shoulder block, and right hand onto the carriage. To press out and maybe open wider. To gently resist the carriage back home, left hand comes to the foot bar. Keep your legs straight as you bring the carriage back in. Press out and away. Pull home with control. Continue feeling that line of pull from head to tail. One more time. Let me get into those, so yummy rotations. So now as the carriage comes home, your left hand has scooted forward about 2 to 3 inches from the middle of your foot bar. Right hand is reached closer towards you from the middle of the foot bar. For you to now press the carriage out, lower your right shoulder down, lift the left shoulder up, and that natural rotation already has started. Woo, getting a little adjustment through my spine. We press with the left arm, keeping both arms long, pull with the right arm, and then lifting the body back up. Notice if you can tell a difference between right and left side, which side feels maybe a little tighter than the other, or stickier than the other side. Last and final one. And that is it, or at least the movement on the carriage. Add on another red spring. We get ready for feet and straps. All right, so feet and straps, I'm gonna have my headrest up. You can lay yourself down, whatever sort of setting you like for your whole body. Straps from the pegs, choke up. And now let's try to challenge yourself here. Working on spinal mobility and core strength, can you hold onto the straps, but bring your feet to the straps? And bring the feet to the seat, make sure your tailbone is heavy, and start to press and pull into your froggy bends. It's just like footwork in the air. Literally coming full circle here. So in that Pilates V that we started off in the beginning of the class with our toes onto the foot bar and the heels connected, feel that same line from heels to hips to heart to head, maintaining that position. Now press the legs out, hold them long to lift, reach away only to the width of your reformer, and lift back up. Now, why do you only go to the width of your reformer? If you're going all the way out to the side, yeah, it's gonna feel like a really nice stretch, but the goal is to keep the powerhouse turned on. So even though you wanna go super wide and feel like a super big stretch, your powerhouse is pulling those legs back up and in and maintaining the integrity, the engagement, and the concentration there. Switch directions. Both legs away, open, up, and back together. Reach, open, back together. Down, out, up, together. 3 more. 2. And final 1. All right, then from there, bend your knees. You'll place the head rest down. Now, this is short spine massage, so if you have never done this before, I definitely recommend you maybe getting a private with your Pilates instructor at a studio that's nearby you. If you have done it before, switch your feet out to the short loops. We're still on those 2 red springs. Your headrest is down. You need to put your headrest down. Again, this is why I say work with a professional first. But again, this is also my personal practice and it just feels so yummy. Stretch the legs out to reach the legs up and overhead to pull you into that stretch. Carriage comes home, hips stay high and they get higher as you bend your knees in towards your face. Then keep your feet where they are, keep the tension to the straps. So you roll the spine down, and then when you're like, okay, I can't go any further without moving the carriage, then bend the feet to the seat. Make sure the seat is all the way down onto the carriage, and then you press out. Lift up, roll to the top as your carriage comes home. Bend the knees, lift the hips higher, straighten out the legs, roll the spine down. And then bend the feet to the seat, pause, and so you can feel hips, heart, head all back into alignment. 2 more times. And reach the hips away, and then bring the feet to the seat and press. Reach through the fingers. Rolling back down. And pull feet to seat. Stop. Press the legs out to then pull the legs in, rolling yourself up. So it's sort of like we're reversing the movement. Hold there, grab for the long loops, and take your feet out of the straps without moving the carriage. Roll yourself down, feet to the foot bar. You've just given yourself a really good stretch through the spine. You can roll yourself up from there, swing yourself around, give yourself a pat on the back, and you hopefully feel a little bit more stretchier, a little taller, a little longer. And I'm ready for a bath and a good night's sleep. So thanks for joining me today, you guys. Until next time, bye.